Hi everyone, welcome to this week's index analysis. So let's start with the US market. This is SPY. Since we are coming to the end of April, so we would like to watch the monthly chart. We'll start with monthly chart. This is usually what I'm doing. So when it comes to the end of the month, I will look at the monthly chart to just get a rough sense of what is the broader picture is telling us. So on this chart, I have put in the trend channel and starting from this low to this low and create a parallel line to connect to this high. As you can see that this is probably a very well defined supply line for this trend channel, as we can have 2 points of confirmation to this line here. So I believe this is probably a very valid supply line to look at. And we are seeing that S&P is moving upwards, and we have a very big shakeout here, and then we start to see market moves up slowly, grinding up move. However, this is the month of April, which is this month. We have one more day to close this bar, and I'm certainly hopeful to see this bar close on the high and close actually above this high here. And that will probably give us a 5th consecutive month of closing. Because we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, and if this is going to close high, we have a 5 consecutive month of higher closes, which probably to point us hopefully to see some further up move to come. However, there is a danger, because this bar has actually already been higher than this previous month's high, and but we are closing now slightly below the previous month close. If on Monday, if we see a move down and we close this bar at this level here, then and you can notice that the volume is actually about the same. So if we add a monthly, another day of volume, it probably wouldn't change much, but it will probably be the same. But if we close below here, right, then we will have a scenario of effort versus result, as we have equal consistent volume that's coming in on the monthly chart, but we are not seeing any net progress to the upside. So Monday is a crucial day for April bar. If we are able to close above on the high and above this high here, then it will be good news that there might be some follow through to the upside. But if we close in the middle, we probably have a scenario of either going sideways, or we are probably going to see a pullback. So we will have to look at the Monday bar. Let's look at the weekly chart. And on the weekly chart, we have a very good close this week. We have closed on the high, and this was a widespread bar. Volume is not very high, although it's slightly lower, but it's still actually relatively about average of all this volume here. So this is pretty good bar. However, I am not thinking that this rally is going to sustain, because we have only a 2 weeks or probably 2.5 weeks base here. Usually we would like to see a more wider base to build before a sustained rally will occur. Something like this kind of number of weeks here. This is about 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 weeks, or 10 weeks of consolidation, and we see this kind of up move. If you look at here, we only have 3 weeks of consolidation, and then we start to see price move sharply higher. We've slightly lower volume here, similar condition to here, and then we start to see a no demand bar, which is on this volume. No demand bar, but weakness comes in, and then we see the down move. So we have to be very careful, and if we have a close above the 142.21 on Monday, then probably we will see some higher up move, but I am not thinking that it's going to go straight up. It's probably going to go sideways along here to build another base for any up move to come. Else this probably will not be sustainable on the upside, and we probably might see a deeper pullback if we fail to close above this level here on Monday, or probably next week, right? So because if we next week we have a close below this level, we'll have a scenario, uptrust scenario happening here, as we can see a little bit of shorting of a trust here, and then we have an uptrust. That is weakness in the market, and we probably expect price to come back to all this support level that we mentioned last week, the 131 to 134 and the 128 130. So let's take a look at the daily chart. And on the daily chart, what we can see here is that a pretty good up move. This is a day where Apple announced aftermarket announcement of above expectation earnings, and then the market starts to rally all the way up by Apple. Single stock. Okay, never mind with that. So but we see a very good up move here, and volume wasn't growing, so we might have some weakness that's coming into the market. And I don't think Monday we probably would see this high. That will probably add some negativeness to the this up move here. So we will have to see on what Monday will do on this bar here on Monday. But on the overall, this is the shortening of a thrust, and I have drawn a reverse use of trend line, and you can see that price is not able to reach the supply line here. As you see, we do reach, and then there's a slight failure to reach the supply line. We start to see price comes down. Then now we start to see it coming early. So that just tell us one thing or the other, is that either supply is coming to the market early. However, we are not seeing much of a supply, but on the down moves here, yes, we do see some supply here, but it's not very significant. Then the other story will be demand is weakening at this level here, so it's not able to push up. Then we see the sell-off coming in here, and we see some consolidation at this level. We do see some buying going on at this level here, but we are not I'm not expecting this rally to sustain itself because of the number of days or number of weeks that is spent here to do the buying, because it's not really enough to buy to sustain a rally to go through the high and make another new a new high of this year, and sustain it and move it further up. So we do really need a wider base here, and now we see price rally out of the base. So another scenario will be price will start to consolidate here to build another base to move up. So it forms like a stair-stepping type of formation to move up. So just take note of this kind of formation, or probably we might have a cup and handle. This is probably the forming of a cup, and then they probably see some handle here. So that is probably another possibility. But anyway, we will let the market develop itself, and we will analyze it when new information comes into the market. So that is my take for the S&P 500 next week. So let's go to the Hong Kong market. This is Hong Kong market, and we are looking at the weekly chart. I couldn't show the monthly chart because this data provider has not updated the monthly chart. I do not know why. But anyway, from the weekly chart, what we are seeing here is that this week we have bounced off from this demand line, weekly demand line, and then we are trying to go up, but we are on the later week, we close in the middle, somewhere lower than the middle part, and we are not coming in with volume. Okay, this to me may not be no supply, because in the past two bars we are seeing demand coming in. That's why we see a very good closes on the bars here, and we are rallying away from the demand line. But this week we are coming down on the low volume. That does tell us that there is probably no demand. As you can see that the bar has not been able to push up above this previous week high, and then we just start to come down, and this is on low volume. So there is a lack of demand after we see demand coming in, and not sustaining itself to move really away from the demand line. So this three bars here is now looking like hugging this demand line, and it really doesn't take much for the next bar to break this demand line. So on overall basis, we could look at the weekly chart, and this is the downtrend channel that I have plotted here, and we are not even coming near to the supply line, and then we are now starting to turn back and going to test the demand line, this bigger demand line here. So that is not a very good sign for the Hong Kong market, and we will probably have to see how it's going to break this demand line. If we're going to see some increase in volume on the next bar coming down, and think we probably would see some lower prices for this Hang Seng or the Hong Kong market. So let's look at the daily chart. On the daily chart, this is what we see here. This is the week, and we on Monday we broke the demand line very firmly, and we closed firmly on the low. So that is really a significant down bar here, and we're dealing with a slight increase in volume. There's not much supply is coming in here, but I would think probably there is probably lack of demand in the market, which we can see for the past 2 weeks. We do not really have demand. There's really strong demand coming into the market. So I think this market is just lack of demand, and what we can see after this very strong down move here, we see price struggle to move up, even coming to the halfway point and of this down move here. And what we are seeing is that we are also coming into this zone of supply, which I marked last week from this bar's range, and I told you that I do not know what this volume is, but I think it's significant for a simple reason, because we move up into that range and we got sell off. We try to move up, we got sell off, and we try to move up again, we got sell off now. So then on Friday we try to move up again, and this time this is really weakness that's coming into the market, because what we see here is that this down move here has already created the weakness that is able to take this market down, but somehow price was able to hold above this level of this is the 2590 level. Let me just shrink the bars here a bit and move a little bit wider. Right, so this is the 2590 level, which was holding pretty well, and it dips down, it goes back up with demand coming in, and then but the problem is that on the next bar we see supply and not able to follow through. Then on this bar we see some slight volume coming in, but it's still not as high as this one on the Tuesday bar, and we are closing on the high. So it's just a very big question mark that whether the demand was able to sustain itself. So then on Friday, the clue actually comes on Friday now, is that when we see price starts to move up into this region here, we saw supply coming in. This is a very high volume bar here with a wide spread. It is just telling us that when buyers was able to move up into this region, they met a supreme force of supply that come into the market and moves price all the way down to close off the low, but just look at how it closed below the range here. So this is a very negative bar to me, because what it has done here is that it's just confirming that the buyers at this level here are really not able to move market up, and we are not really seeing demand that's coming in. But now this is the first time that we see supply coming into the market with such a volume. As we compare in the background, this is the first time we see supply coming in here. So for next week, I do not know whether on Monday it will break the demand line, but the chances of breaking the demand line is now very high. And if we do not really, if Monday or Tuesday we are not able to rally back up and hopefully to come back above to take out this range here, I think there will be a high possibility that this 2590 level is going to break, and we probably have to see how it breaks that level. Else it will just, if it breaks this level without any volume, then I would think that price will probably come back to this range again, probably got to consolidate and then try to move up to test this level. However, if you look at this consolidation, we just have a 1 week consolidation, so any up move may not be any having much sustaining power to move it up above this range here. So to move above this range, I believe you still probably need another one, probably through 2 to 3 weeks of consolidation at this level here, just to absorb or to weaken the weak holders, or to scare the weak holders out, or tire the weak holders out, to at least get rid of the excess supply that's coming, still exists in the market, and then move price up above this range. So let's look at the Monday or Tuesday bar, but the chances of breaking this demand line is pretty high. And on the flip side, on the very very negative side, is that if we come down through this level and this demand line with high volume, and then we close on low, then I would think that we are very very likely to see this 20,000 level, this range here, going to be tested. And we will probably have to see how it's being tested, because this is crucial level. If we want to break this, we are breaking this so-called trading range, because we are slowly moving down. It can be a trading range on the slight move down like this. But if we broke this level, I think we are going to see this range being broken in, and to see more further downside for the Hong Kong market. So that is my take for the Hang Seng market. And one thing to note is that I have put in this reverse use of trend line and create a trend channel. So you can see that the price Hang Seng is not able to reach that supply line, and we are start turning down. So there is weakness in the market, and so be careful if you have any long position at this moment. So next, let's go to the Indonesian market. This is the Indonesian market, and what we are seeing here is the weekly chart. The same thing happens, and I could not show you the monthly chart because the last bar wasn't complete yet, so it wasn't updated on the monthly chart. Alright, but what we are seeing here on the weekly chart is that last week I was saying that it looks something like an early absorption, except for the volume is a bit high. This week we are seeing supply coming in. As we can see, there's an increase in volume, and then we are closing down. However, we are not closing on the low, so there is still some buying going on at this level here. However, we are able to make a lower low now, instead of the previous weeks that we are seeing it makes a higher high, very subtle higher high here, and then there's a higher high here, but a higher low, and a subtle higher low here, and a higher low here. But now this week we are able to make a lower low, so that means that supply has really stepped into the market, and is able to move price lower. From here, what we're seeing is that where we have some failure at this all-time high, once we touch it, and then we see supply coming in, we are breaking this immediate uptrend channel here, and we are now closing below it. So there is negative things that's happening in this JCI index in the Indonesian market, and weakness is coming in. Because probably of this upthrust, because we still have not seen this upthrust taking effect on the price movement here, but we still do see some buying going on. So it is still unclear. So what we are going to do is that we should be staying on the sideline, because we really do not know what market is trying to tell us now. It is just struggling at the all-time high level, but there is still some buying at the lower level. So we really do not know the intention at this moment of this Indonesian market. This is the weekly chart, so let's go to the daily chart and take a look. Alright, on the daily chart, what we are seeing here is that this is the down move, and I mark it with the halfway point here. As you can see, this is the 50% line, and if you draw a line across here, you are seeing price is just negotiating around the 50% line here, the halfway point here. It's keep negotiating, and then we see some up move here, and this now becomes something like an upthrust to the monthly move on the high here. And then we see the failure of closing on the high, and then this is really with volume, and this week we are seeing volume coming in, and there's no net progress to the upside. So this week actually for the volume itself, it really concerned me, which I actually highlighted on the blog on Thursday, that the high volume bars here, and we are making no progress to the upside. This is really concerning, because In the normal market operation, we would want to see volume coming in and then to drive price up, because that just represents that they are buying and price is able to move up. However, if we see high volume coming in and we are not seeing price moving up, so that is the other side of a story, which means that supply is actually coming into the market, as we do see it in the weekly chart, but on the daily chart it just doesn't really show us that. However, we do have a upthrust here on Thursday, and on this high here there's an upthrust, and we are closing now in the middle, and then the next bar was down. So this is something like a confirmation of the selling coming in at this bar here. Although on the Friday we do see a lower volume, I do not think that that is no supply, because the spread is a little bit too wide, and I think it's more probably likely to be no demand on here after seeing an upthrust. So what we want to do here is that on Monday it's going to be crucial. If we do see a down bar and closing below here, below this low here, just be very careful of this level, because this will be a crucial level, which is the 41.30 level. If this down bar is going to take out all these lows here, including the 41.30 level, we are going to see this level in crucial danger, and I think it is likely to break this level next week if we see that kind of bar with volume coming in. So that is really telling us that supply is really coming into the market. And if we do see that, I think this demand line probably would provide some support, and to see price bounce off from this very thick demand line here, which is drawn very early in the chart. So probably around the 41.09 level, if we do see some a confluence of this level with this demand line, I think there might be support coming in at that level. Else, if we do break that level, I think we will likely to see the 40.38 very soon, and that might be another level to provide support for JCI. On the upside, I really do not think that we are going to rally up very soon, because if we do see some demand coming in and prices just refuse to go down, I believe there will still be probably one week or two consolidation around this area here, probably move slightly higher above the all-time high. If I would prefer to see absorption above this level here, or around this all-time high, not failing, failing come back down, but we goes back up again, just swing along this level here. I would prefer absorption to happen at this level here rather than at a lower level, because the lower level would just mean that the supply has been so strong that price are not able to move up. So that is my story for the JCI. So on the upside, I believe it is limited, but the downside has a much higher chances for JCI to move down. So that's my take for JCI. Let's move to the Singapore market next. Hi, this is Singapore market. So same thing, I'll only show you the weekly chart here, and basically on the weekly chart, what we are seeing here is that, oh my god, we have like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 bars of sideways movement, and really nothing going on. However, just to note that this sideways movement happened in this range here, almost about 2 months or 1.5 months of sideways. We are slowly moving downwards, but we make a slightly higher high here. So we are now depending on the next bar whether to see we are going to make a lower low. If we do make a lower low, then we really have a downtrend forming, and we probably likely to see 29.06 to be tested in the future. However, my take is that because we are able to hold above this halfway, this top range, if this is the trading range, we are actually trading above the halfway of the trading range, the top part of the trading range, and really have to depend on next week. If we are able to see a bar, the up bar, that closing above this high here, which is the 3010 level, if we are able to see that bar closing on a high, then we probably would likely to see STI is prepared preparing itself for a up move. And given 12 weeks of consolidation here, I would believe any move up or down is going to be significant, and because it has the buyers have already have a sufficient time to accumulate, and also if it is a distribution, sellers has already have a sufficient time to sell out all their holdings, and probably to take some short position at this few days here. So we really have to wait for the next bar to come to tell us whether is it ready to move up or down. Let's take a look at the daily chart. And on the daily chart, I've marked the apex. This is it is forming an apex. I'm starting from this trend line, from this high to this high here, then from the low to this low here, and we observe that on Monday we see price came down all the way to this demand line here, and then we saw price bounce away from it. At least for STI, we have seen a movement up a little bit easier because we have consecutively three consecutive days of up days, and then on Friday we closed slightly lower and actually level to me. So we are still have a slight advantage of buyers of moving upwards. And on Friday we do take out the high of this down bar here on Monday. However, buyers are not able to keep that high, and we see sellers step in to sell STI all the way down. However, on this kind of volume, sellers are not able to impress the market with a lower price. So I believe there is still buying at this level here. So overall for STI, I'm not that negative, but I'm still very neutral to the STI, with slight bias to the upside. If we do see a breakout of this high here, or a breakout of this the supply line above the 3000 level, I would guess that STI would probably head towards the 30-31 level and break it this time. So because we do have a very sufficient period of base building at this level here, so I would believe that the breakout will probably be successful, and we probably hit towards the 3100, or probably actually I would think that 3200 is slightly possible, is highly possible to reach. And that is for the STI. On the downside, if because we are still very close to the apex center, actually we are at the apex center, if we are going to break all the way down through this demand line with an increase in volume and closing on the low, something like this bar, but with a much higher volume above the average volume coming on this bar here, we do see supply coming into the market, and then the 29.45 level would probably be tested again, and hopefully to see demand coming in. Else we would probably going to see 29.06. As in between here, we really do not have much of a zone to draw any support here. The only support is 29.06, and on this bar, if this bar has contained some buying or the demand coming in here, so then I would believe breaking the 29.45 will probably meet some support in the middle here at the probably 29.20 to 29.30 level. At this range here, we will probably meet some support at this range here. So for STI, I'm still very neutral to it, and the base building is really fantastic, but I do not know which direction it's going to go at this moment. So we probably have to see next week how it's going to develop. And on the Friday, although it looks very negative, but I really do not think that it's so much negative that we're probably going to break all this level in the next 2-3 bars. But who knows, market might just do that, or might just rally up. So that's why I think Monday will probably be a crucial bar to tell us whether the market is deciding to go up or go down. So we will just have to take a look at STI on next week. So that's my take for the four major markets that I'm trading, and I hope you trade well and be careful this week, this coming week, because I believe the market is still very jittery about news coming from the Europe area, and also some hawkishness that is showing up in the Fed's meeting minutes. So we probably have to be very careful if market is thinking that the US is going to raise interest rate very soon, especially if the indication is next year. Then I would think we will probably see a major correction coming into the markets, especially most of the market that's already been rallying much. So we just have to be very careful about that. But overall, we still can read from here if we do see some supply that's coming into the market. So as for the four markets, except for US, the other three markets are showing signs of hesitation, and there are some supply that's coming into the market. However, only probably for Singapore it's still a little bit more positive, but for JCI and Hong Kong we might be seeing some weakness. So we do have to be very careful in trading this week. So let me stop here, and we will meet again next week. Thanks.